Before we start with today's video, you can help support this channel by sending me commissions at very low prices. If you're interested or have questions, you can DM me here on Twitter or you can contact me on Discord. My Discord is starzy at 7488. So if you're interested, be sure to contact me. The only payment method I accept is Cash App. But with that being said, let's get started with the video. Gokigenyo everyone, the Starlight Let's Player is here. So remember back in my Neptunia anime review part 1, which I did a month ago, where I said that I don't really play RPGs that much, except for the Neptunia series, and maybe a few exceptions like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And there was one game that I mentioned, and as you can tell by this opening right here, this is Seven Pirates H. This is completely different from what we've seen from Neptunia, completely different from Data Live, completely different from Oz's Lane, and all the other games that Compound Heart and Idea Factory had worked with. But this game is something else. Basically, this is actually mostly centered on fan service, and yeah, this game was made by Felistella, and if you're wondering, if you're familiar with their work, you may have noticed that they were responsible for the Rebirth series as well as Sega Hard Girls, Neptunia vs Sega Hard Girls. So yeah, Seven Pirates H. I've been looking forward to playing this game. I managed to get this game on sale on the day one. I didn't get the limited edition, but I did get the digital version. And as you can tell, this game's main theme is boobs. I am not joking. That is exactly the main theme of this game. So yeah, I'll explain more about this as we continue on. And as you may have heard earlier, the opening theme was "Break the Ice" by Machiko. And if you've heard of her before, you may have known her from her work from the Parute series. She's done a few openings and ending themes, along with some voice, along with having some vocal songs in some of the soundtracks. And she was also voicing as Misaki from Kira Kira Pretty Cure a la Mode. So yeah, they got her to do the opening theme of this game. So yeah, Seven Pirates H came out in 2016. Yeah, it came out in 2016 on the PlayStation Vita, but was later ported over on the Nintendo Switch this year. It was back in I think it was in February or March, where the Japanese players were able to get the game, but it was released worldwide on May of this year. So yeah, it's been almost a month since this game came out, and I've been doing my time to wait for the right time to actually do a playthrough of this game, because I had a lot of stuff to get through first before getting to this game. And the reason why I'm doing a playthrough of this game is because, one, this is pretty much one of the shorter RPGs that I've actually played, and it has elements that I wish that the Neptunia games actually had. It has so I will say this: Seven Pirates H. This is easily a fun game, a fun RPG. If they had if they have more games like this, I would most certainly enjoy it more. I wouldn't say enjoy it more, but if they have more games like this, then I will most likely be hooked. Yes, I forgot the I actually forgot to set the text too fast, so I'm gonna do that later on. But yeah, the control. I like how they actually give you the option to check the controls on how you can actually work the cutscenes. You can actually skip ahead, or you can just automatically let the cutscenes play. So I really do like that. And we get introduced to our main character. This is Parute Kaori. She's the main character of this game, and we'll see more of the story. We'll explain more about the story as this game progresses. But I can give you the short summary. Um, basically, you see the character, the character mascot, or calls himself Aton or Oton, however you pronounce himself. He's a boy monster. He's a boy monster in the form of a seal, from what I can tell. And he bumped into Parut, which caused them to be stranded on a different island. And basically, he tells her about 7 different treasures, to where she has to find all 7 of them to become the legendary pirate. So yeah, that's pretty much the summary of the story. Although I would say that is mostly the first half of the game. I wouldn't say first half, but it sort of feels like it, because as we continue, we have a second storyline, but I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it to all the newcomers and to those who is actually watching my playthrough of this game. But yeah, 7 Pirates H. This is actually the 4th game in the Genkai Toki series. This is the 4th game to finally get a worldwide release. Because there are other games in the series that I haven't even heard of, for like Monsupi Sea, Moeru Chronicle, and Moeru Crystal. Although the last 2, they were originally called Moe Crystal and Moe Chronicle, but they swapped. I think they called them Moeru Chronicle and Moeru Crystal for the worldwide releases. So yeah, and from what I've seen from those 3 games is that there's no actual dungeon exploring. Well, not dungeon, but there's actually dungeon exploring, but there's no actual 3D dungeon exploring. All of it is completely 2D. But unlike 7 Pirates H, it's basically a 3D. It's a full-on 3D RPG type of game. It's more light, and this game is more lighthearted than any other RPGs I've seen, especially more lighthearted than some of the Neptunia games I've played. And you'll see why as we continue on with this story. Although I will say the story is pretty good. And yes, that's her name, Parute Kaori. Her first name is pretty much a way of saying pirate. And yes, I was not lying when I said this game is focused on boobies. If you want to know why, I'll explain once we get into that aspect, because there is one mode that we'll pretty much have to use throughout the whole game. And I will tell you that that mode alone is the definition It's a definition of beyond fan service. So this is something called booby training. Basically, the game teaches, like, basically whenever you level up, well, you don't really level up, but you have these asterisks, and the more you collect, then as you collect more, as you fill the quota, you'll receive a training extract, and you can use these to actually increase your stats and actually gain new skills. But you do this by training your titties. So you essentially have to do all sorts of techniques to the character's boobs in order to make them grow to however you want them. So you can increase the cleavage, the size, the perkiness, the height, the softness, and the firmness. So these are the 6 things you can increase. Do note that depending on which one you wanted to focus on will determine on how much of a bonus one of your stats will get. So if you focus on height, then you'll get more of a health bonus. But if you focus on size, basically, like, the bigger the boobs, the higher the attack and defense you will get. But the smaller the boobs, the higher the speed will get. So it's all about how you want your character's titties to be. You can have them becoming big bazongas, or you can have them in the itty bitty titty committee category. So this is a wacky and perverted way of like making your character stronger. And as someone who enjoys playing niche games, I actually like this game. And I actually like the fact that I love the fact that you can make your character stronger by making their boobs bigger or smaller, however you want them. Me personally, as a titty connoisseur, I prefer them to be big, but I also enjoy them small as well. As long as they're not too big, that's where we're going a bit too far. Although I did explain this in my top 10 best boobs in anime video. And speaking of which, I might actually do a top 10 best boobs in anime One Piece edition, seeing that I'm already over halfway of the story. But yeah, they found the first treasure, and they have to go through different lands in order to find all seven of the treasures in order for her to, so Parute can become the legendary pirate. It's basically her way of saying she wants to be the queen of the pirates. And yeah, this game isn't called Seven Pirates for nothing. Basically, you are going to be running into certain monster girls, and when you defeat them, you can befriend them, and they'll join your crew. There are 6 of them, in fact. So Parute is basically the only human girl in this cast of characters so far, aside from the one girl that she was talking to earlier, which is one of the sailors. So yeah, but like I said, there are more monster girls that you run into. Some of them will be joining your crew, while others will consider your rivals. So we see Parute allowing Otan to join her, but in exchange he has to do whatever she says. And I'll tell you, she is quite the demanding pirate. She's nice and kind, but she can also be demanding too, mainly towards Otan. And by the way, from what I've also heard, Otan is a returning mascot from some of the previous Genkai Toki games. So the game calls them dungeons, although some of them aren't really considered dungeons. This is an island. Ladies and gentlemen, the first island we're on, this is the Forest of Purity. Although that last part is a lie. There's nothing pure about. There's really nothing pure about this island. And the reason why I say that is because some of the enemies can either have boobs or shaped after boobs. Again, I'm not kidding when I say that this game is mainly focused on titties. You'll see why as we continue on with this game. And yes, and the monsters, they are called H monsters. And yes, as for Otan, he's a massive pervert. And he's definitely proud of being a pervert. Hell, if you even call him one, he'll consider that as an extreme compliment. So, yeah, call him a pervert all you want, but he will acknowledge that. However, his perviness is actually the key of them actually not only getting stronger, but also having the nice kind of rack they want. Alright, so now we're finally getting into the combat system. So, this is actually the battle system. Basically you have 5 commands. You can attack, which is press the A button into attack. You can run, which pressing the left button. You can use the right button to use his skills. You can use the bottom button to defend yourself, and you can use the top button on the pad in order to use items. So items like healing potions, healing potions, MP potions, whatever you can use, whatever you can use in order to increase, to restore whatever it is you're low on. And speaking of MP, that's essentially what you basically need. You don't really increase the amount of MP you would get. It will always be stuck at 200. So as you go into a new dungeon or returning dungeon, your MP will stay at 50%. You'll stay at 50. So the more you attack, the more it increases. That's what I like about this game. So you don't really have to worry about your MP constantly draining or remaining the same whenever you attack. Though the best thing about this game is that when your MP is at maximum level, like at 200, that's when your character starts to get aroused, and she can launch her ultimate skill, which completely costs 200. But you have to make sure you use that skill, because if you don't use it while it's at 200% and you win the battle, then it will reset down to 0, and you have to build that up all over again. And in the case of boss fights, you got to make sure your MP is at a high amount. So you have to be prepared for these boss fights, because some of the fights later on in the game can get pretty hectic. So you have to make sure your characters are stronger. And see right there, my Parute just got aroused now that her skill is at 200%. So I use my ultimate, which is the Falcon Dive. And depending on how strong your character is, will determine on how much damage that ultimate skill will do. And as you increase your stats, you'll also unlock more new skills. Some that can cost up to 25, while some cost up to 50. But in order to use the skills that goes up to 50, you have to make sure your MP. You have to make sure your MP is at over 100, or at least up to 100, which is basically being half aroused. And also, collecting items in the game is also very, very important, because you can use those items to either help your characters, or you can actually trade them for different, or yeah, you can trade them for panties and bras. So essentially, you can use those to increase your character's stats more as you equip them. So I really do like that. There are also objectives, but I'll go into that once we continue on with the story. And as you can see, that's the DLC content. Basically, the PS Vita version actually had DLC content, but since we're playing this on the Nintendo Switch, all that DLC content is permanently in the game. So you have all these OPI extracts, which you can use in your characters in order to increase their stat bonuses, whether it be attack bonus, health bonus, defense bonus, or a speed bonus. Alright, this is where we run into the first monster girl. Excuse me. Oh, I love the dynamic between Parute and Otan. They kind of remind me of, you know, the TV show Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. You know, the amount the amount of shit that Mr. Whiskers does, and Brandy just gets real tired of, can sometimes get real tired of his shit, but sometimes she sees him as a companion. That's the way how I see Parute and Otan. Although the difference is they're both on the exact same crew, and they both will be on the adventure the whole way through. And here we have our first monster girl. This is Waffle. She is a Cobalt monster girl, which is a mythical creature which I haven't heard much of, but yeah. Oh, and there's the bad English there. To check if you're there is treasure is your boobies. Did they not proof? Could they at least proofread that? Could they have at least fix that? That was a bit of a mistake there. This game in this small amount of bad English. Pervert monster and his clumsy shipwrecked lackey. Damn, calling her a lackey. And I always wondered this: if you ever have a kid, would you name your kid Waffle? Like I'm just like, cause I know she's a monster girl, but still, who the hell names their kid Waffle? You're not sure you can beat the monster girl. I beg to differ. Alright, so we're going into our first boss fight, which is Waffle. Which is actually the first monster girl boss fight. And we defeat her no problem. No, seriously, we beat her no problem. The swift slash. So we just got 200 gold from that, and we got another training extract. So here's the thing. I admire the fact that we can increase the bust size of these characters. My main issue with that is how they look in the actual dungeons. For example, like this one time I increased Parute's bust size up to like a larger bust. Like I believe it was like around G cup to H cup. But when you look at the side of her breasts, they look pretty. As you look on the side of her breasts, they can look pretty stretched out, and it makes me wonder how. Why was that even a thing? I do think they could have at least fixed it. I do think they could have at least fixed it a bit to make sure the breasts do look more realistic than to make sure they look more realistic than just being stretched out like a plate of dough. Oh, there's an adorable scene. Parute petting Waffle. So adorable. You know, Waffle, she pretty much reminds me of Hibari. Although Hibari's more childish. She's more childish and playful. Waffle isn't really that childish. Well, I wouldn't say childish, but she's more mischievous. She's mischievous, but she isn't that childish. Yes, stop the violence. Let's stop the violence. Punishment? Oh shit. Poor Otan. Yes, the only human in the Monsupi Sea. And yeah, that's an honest question. Why doesn't humans come here? Why isn't there any humans here? That is the oddest part. Like again, Parute's the only human girl here, and yet this entire sea is swarming with a bunch of monster girls, good and bad. even H monsters as well. Oh, and this is where we get. This is where we recruit our third member of the team of the crew. Though I do ask, do they really call themselves the Seven Pirates as a name, or do they have some type of different name? Like at least in One Piece, they actually did had a crew name, which was the Straw Hat Pirates, which would make sense considering Luffy is the captain of the crew and he wears a straw hat. So the Seven Pirates, I mean, no, so the Straw Hat Pirates makes sense. Here because it's meant to be mine? Oh shit. Of course she's gonna steal this ship. Well, goddamn. I know she's a pirate and all, but still. Guard your retreat, so let me know when it's. He's like, hey, I'm just here to train. I'm just here to help y'all and train y'all. I ain't here to fight. Yeah, you surely die, or worse. Or worse, they might turn you into grilled seal. Do it up. That is a... You do realize what you're saying, Parute. You do realize that. Especially when you're saying this... When you're saying this to a massive pervert. But oh man, I cannot wait till we get to the 5th monster girl to join our crew, cause she is my personal favorite of the 7. Yes, she is sexy indeed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jewel, and she is a slime monster girl. You can tell by the slime hair on her. You can actually tell by the hair, the hat, and how the slime is actually covering her nipples. Lucked out. Okay, if you're friends with Jewel, why are you calling some random girl that you just met your master? Why are you why? Yeah, that is fucked up. All the shit she did for you, and yet you are considering someone else your master. Someone that you just met, and yet you have been longtime friends with Jewel. What the fuck? My ship alone. Yeah, we all know that's gonna be a bullshit lie after this fight. See, even Parute agrees with that. Yeah, that is also gonna be a lie afterwards. And yeah, she is a baddie, and not in a hot way. Although, kinda in a hot way, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, this is exactly what I meant when I say mischievous. I cannot believe Waffle. The girl has been through so much with Jewel, yet she meets some girl named Parute, and now all of a sudden she's calling her master. That's just fucked. But anyway, we're facing up against Jewel here, and this is once again a cakewalk. Use a skill, swift slash, get rid of this girl real easily. Defeat her with that, and we're done. some of these monster fights, some of these monster girl fights are pretty easy. And seriously, how the hell do we get 100 gold from Jewel? Yet the first monster girl fight we got 200 gold. No, Jordan. Oh shit! Oh my god! Holy! Like, it's not pushing boundaries like Marble Maid did, but god damn it! I'm glad I'm not using that as a thumbnail, because I would have the feeling that YouTube would get on my ass, just like they've been getting on my ass with the Sim and Conquer thumbnails. And I just want to say, Sim and Conquer does have a lot of fan service, but it's nowhere near the amount of fan service that this game has. Yes, this is why. So you can just see. This is why, so you can see the tickle bitties. No matter how harsh the situation, I will always find a way. I admire his dedication to boobies. Goddess of Destiny. I mean, Queen of the Pirates sounds way better, honestly, in my opinion. Or the Pirate Queen. Sounds unfair. Have you not looked at your own rack there, Jewel? Your breasts are bigger than Parute and Waffles.
は長く険しく極めるのは辛く厳しいんだ。
Yes, it can. And soon we're gonna be running into monster girls with ginormous titties. I'm like the best size, the best kind of big titties. Okay, listen. If you borrowed it, why would you consider it yours at the beginning? You can't just wager something that's not even yours. Excuse me. Difficult to get around the Monsupi Sea, just like it's impossible to get around the Grand Line. With a normal ship, you're gonna have to like up your game. With like the bigger ship, you gotta like when it comes to some of these dangerous seas, you have to make sure you're 100% prepared. And I'm sorry for the One Piece references, but that's exactly what I'm seeing here. This is just a booby version of one. This feel like a booby version of One Piece, except it's just mostly focused on titties and finding the 7 treasures. Although so far I'm only seeing 6 treasures. Humans are scary. Really. They're scary. Have you seen some of the other monsters? I'm pretty sure they are way scarier. Though it does depend on how they act. Wait, why leave her? Oh, no. You're going with them too.
この船がいっぱいになるぐらい仲間を増やして道なき道を切り開き邪魔する敵をなぎ払って絶対に宝を手に入れるわよ。
それよりパルってあれはどうなったんだじ？ほら船に乗り込む前のあれだじ。
あれ？あれってどれのことよ？
俺が船に最初に乗り込んだら何でも言うことを聞くと言ったじ。
Yep, I knew it. It was a bad idea. I can already tell what Otan is thinking about.
あんたが敵を倒して活躍したらの話でしょ。そもそも役に立ってないからダメ。そういうことは役に
Damn, Parute. Pull your weight, then we'll talk. So Waffle and Jewel has now joined our crew. We got 4 more monster girls to look for, and like I said, I can't wait for the 5th one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the world map known as the Monsupi Sea, and we just completed the Forest of Purity. So, yeah, we got other events going on, but yeah, that was part 1. This was part 1 of 7 Pirates H. I'm excited for this game. I really can't wait to play more of this game as we're going through in this playthrough. And like I said, the 3rd time, I can't wait for the 5th monster girl to appear. She is like you'll know why once we get there. But yeah, these will be once again a duo playthrough, duo let's play. Where I'll do one. Well, I'm doing both 2 let's plays at the same time. But yeah, this is part 1 of 7 Pirates H. Join us in part 2 as we face off and recruit the 3rd monster girl and the 4th, as well as the 4th, as well as the 4th member of the crew. But until then, this is the Starlight Let's Player signing out. As always, Goki Genyo, and have a star-tastic day, everyone.
I knew I would fulfill my dream, yeah. They knew I started from the bottom, now I made it, yeah. The possibilities are endless, yeah, I say, yeah. I got the rules and I got everything I need, yeah. And now I'm chilling with a pretty gentle lady, yeah. She got a kind and gentle personality, yeah. She got them curvy hips and a booty for booty.